A local artist plans to create the world's largest museum inspired by Nelson Mandela. The project involves micro-museums based on the dimensions of Mandela's Robben Island prison cell, where he was incarcerated for 18 years. Well, the Madiba project aims to create conversations through the micro-museums around South Africa and the world, all linked through an app. Now, photographer and artist Erhardt Thiel is here to tell us about this very, very ambitious project. Erhardt, good morning. So it's the Madiba project?
Yes, thank you.
What is the Madiba project?
You know, it's quite an ambitious project. If I give it its full name, it's a global interactive participative art project creating conversations for change. And how do I do that? I took Madiba's Robben Island prison cell, kept the walls but broke them down and made them useful on bench height, creating a space on which people can sit and have the conversations we as a country and as a world must still have to effect the change that must still come.
So where are you building these little museums or these little...
Yeah, the first one I built at Stellenbosch University Museum, my alma mater. But subsequently I've built 19 already, and today we're starting the 20th one up here in Gauteng. Most of them are linked to Mandela sites, like the Mandela Foundation site. I must just say I'm doing this in partnership with and in support of the Mandela Foundation.
Okay.
There are some photographs of the Mandela Museum in Tata, Mandela Museum in Qunu, the Nelson Mandela Gateway to Robben Island. In the waterfront, I've built one at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. There's one at Mandela Square. But I've also built some at schools. The last one I built last week at the Jan van Riebeeck Primary in Cape Town, and St. Stithians and Paul Roos, my old school. So I want to do them in as many schools and universities and towns, corporate locations around the country and the world. Next year it's going global. I'm in discussions with one on South America, North America, Europe. I want to grow this project globally, and then when there are at least 50 done, I'm at 20 now, I want to start linking them in a geo-specific app so that you'll be able to sit on one and communicate with a person sitting on another one, in the spirit of Mandela.
Okay, so you're in the same space, but not in the same space, but having the same conversation. So how's it worked so far? What's been the response? Like you say, you've gone to primary schools, you're at universities. What are people doing?
When they are at schools, some people use, some schools use them for their history classes. You can obviously lay a wreath there if it's a Mandela significant day like yesterday. Yeah. I asked the headmasters to use it in creative ways. So if two boys at Paul Roos have to talk something out, they can go and sit there, get some perspective in life.
So it's not the naughty corner in the classroom.
It
shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be the naughty corner. It should be the solutions corner.
Yeah, the solutions corner. I like that. Okay, so tell us more about that app now. The app that you say will link us if we're sitting in various
That is still in development, but the idea will be that all of these sites around the world will work together. I call it jokingly the Uber of museums that we're building for Madiba. And this will be managed by the Mandela Foundation, so that it effectively becomes a museum, a means of getting the ideas of Mandela into the world. You know, we that had the privilege, to photograph and to shake his hand, but we will also not be there one day. And for next generations to be inspired by Madiba's way of thinking and leadership and creative problem solving, I think the idea to be able to use creativity as an artist, but to also inspire creativity in solutions thinking for how do you get out of a prison cell, how do you break those walls down, how do you get to the other side of the walls. We in South Africa aren't even halfway to where we should have been.
We seem to be building more walls and breaking them down at the moment.
Globally, and that's why this is so significant. This project is literally about breaking down walls and acknowledging the fact that they were there, but using it to get through the bars.
So how does one gain access to these micro-museums in the various places that you've,
There's
the public
a website,
spaces?
imadiba.com. I would encourage people to go to the website, also to follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Get involved. If you want to sponsor one, it goes as a sponsorship to the Mandela Foundation. I am the implementing agent behind this project. Also the guy that had the idea 3 years ago now. So hopefully I can take it much further. I think it's probably the best thing I'll ever do on this planet. So if I can build it and if I can have the support. Satrix was the first corporate sponsor to come on board, then Sanlam came on board, and hopefully we'll have a few of the big banks coming on board sponsoring them so that we can have them at as many sites as possible.
So not just a replica cell, a solutions room. I like that. We need to send some of our politicians to the solutions
room. I actually
room.
want to build one in the Parliament's precinct.
Build a big one. All right, thank you very much, photographer
so much.
and artist Erhardt Thiel, joining us here on Morning News today.